Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Match Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest I had on in the past because I liked him so much I had to bring him on right back. So today is Shaily Hakimian, who is my favorite social media Sherpa, and to be honest, you're the only Sherpa I know helping our business owners navigate the mountainous terrain of social media. So I'm excited to get into this with you. So first, welcome back to the show.
Same. Thank you so much for having me, Adam. I love what you do, sharing all these stories online, and I'm honored to be back. So thank you.
So let's, we had a really blessed year, and just going to the new year, got a lot of new listeners. I just want to, I don't want to assume all the new listeners caught the first episode. So let's just start with what you're doing over at yoursocialmediasherpa.com. Let's start there.
Oh, yes. So yoursocialmedia.com is a way to empower business owners to reinvest in their own marketing so that they can stay top of mind with their referral network, so they can keep generating more leads and continue to grow their business. It was something that spurred out of my own need to find ways to connect with people. And as a kid that was bullied and it was teased, it was very difficult. And I realized that finding personal connections and commonalities was the way for people to like me as a kid. And I realized that the same thing applies with social media and your business, is that when you can make personal connections with people and really engage them, the doors of possibilities of what can happen in the future are endless. So now I work with business owners one-on-one, teaching them how to do their own marketing. We go through sessions so that we can learn what questions they have on social media, make sure that they're building trust with their people through one-on-one learning, and I hold them accountable to their goals too. So that's what Your Social Media Sherpa is, and I'm excited to continue empowering people. So yeah, that's me.
So I love it, and you truly are empowering people. And just for an example, when I saw your proposed topic for show notes, I was like, nobody ever talks about this, and that is the fear of posting on social media, like showcasing yourself online, putting yourself out there. That's not an easy thing for people. I think everybody assumes that there's a lot of people on the sidelines that know they need to do it, they know they have to, but there's some fear behind that. So what are your thoughts on that, and how have you helped people overcome that?
Yeah. I love that you talked about this because this is a big one. Even with some clients today, they were talking about being terrified to post their first thing on LinkedIn because they didn't want to put something out there to their network. It's a real thing. And actually one of my recent LinkedIn posts was about how I'm actually still scared. I'm on here to help people not feel scared. I'm telling you that sometimes I still feel scared. But what I do is that I practice, is that I test stuff out, is that I'll put stuff. It stalks me too much on the internet, but I put stuff out on a lot of different platforms. Don't look me up on TikTok. Don't look me up on Medium. You're going to find all sorts of shenanigans on there. But
I'm looking you up on TikTok.
Oh, no.
It's too late. You shouldn't have said that because I started an account, and I have one on there, and it's ridiculous, too. So if you want to see ridiculous, that's what we do. Go ahead.
I have to follow you. I might have to follow you. I've been on there for 3 years, and now everybody just woke up to it. So I'm I've been there, done that, but I'm glad that more people are getting on it. But it's through this experiment, the same way that you just said you experiment with TikTok, is that it makes me feel a little bit better. It's the way that I describe this is when you go to a store, at least for me, I'm putting on a dress, I'm looking in the mirror, I figure out, do I like the way that feels? Do I like the price? What do I feel about this? Because ultimately, I don't want to buy something that I don't want to really commit to. I don't want to buy something that I'm not going to wear again. So in my mind, it's you put some little samples or test drives on different platforms, you can figure out, how do you feel about it? Because if you don't like posting it, you're never going to do it again. And if your people are on there, because if your people are on there, then there might be something more for you to do. So I would say try something out. You don't have to post it to your network. You don't have to post it to your personal Facebook or anywhere you have a lot of people. Post it somewhere nobody can see and see how you feel, because that'll make you a little less scared to do it on your platform or whatever your next thing is going to be. That's how to start.
So you're basically just dipping your toe in the water is all you're trying to do. You're just trying to see, is the water, is it going to be the end of the world if I do this post? Is that so? And then let's say that you now dipped your toe in the water, so to speak. And one thing that I like, so maybe like let's just say, okay, so LinkedIn's a personal network. So maybe like you have a Facebook, like your personal page that is only your family and friends. Maybe you post something professional and just say, hey, I'm thinking about posting this on LinkedIn, but I just want want the opinions of my friends and family, because they're not gonna tear you apart. So that could even be your testing ground to where you feel like you can get some constructive criticism. Like that's kind of like, so part one, you just dip your toe in the water. Next one is we're gonna get like an ankle maybe up to the knee, and that's gonna be like the Facebook. And then maybe, just maybe, after you refine your message, then maybe you just jump in and do a cannonball and do your first post on LinkedIn. What do you think?
Absolutely. I love that. Adam, you hit on so many great things of like, first off, you talked about being vulnerable, telling people, hey, I'm about to try this thing, which people are generally a lot more welcoming when you tell them how you're really feeling. So one, the vulnerability thing is great. The second thing is you talked about like friends and family. So much so, like, when I'm testing out content or I'm scared to post something, I don't post it to the world. I'll send it to like 3 people that I trust and say, hey, I'm thinking about putting this out. And that's like, this happened to me last year. A mentor of mine was like, oh my gosh, this is great, post it. And if I hadn't shown it to her, I probably would have been more scared. But showing it to a trusted person that has your back, that's cheering you on, that knows how hard you've worked, like that helps. They'll see it and they'll love it. And then the fear, usually for me, the fear goes away at that point. So show it to some people that you trust, just like you said, and it makes that going over that edge a little easier. And then, you can do that cannonball. So slow and steady, and then you can jump in.
I love it. And so then let's just say, okay, now you got some feedback, you got everything else, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go and do that post on LinkedIn or to my professional network, because you finally have your content to where you want it. What would be the next step for them in terms of crafting that message, or how they put that up there? Because I just want to make sure that it's tailored right for LinkedIn is all. What are some tips for posting there?
Oh, there's so many things for posting on LinkedIn. Everything that you do when you're posting on LinkedIn is really to help you build trust. So the way that I see all of your LinkedIn content, it's kind of like one of the things you can think about is like, let's say you're talking on the phone, Adam, with a client, and they're asking you questions about your business. I even ask you questions about your business because it's fascinating to me. Like, what are those common questions that you're getting from your clients all the time? Like you said, like, what's the fear of social media, or like stuff that comes up like that. And then using that information to potentially inspire what your post is. Hey, I get, like, my post could be, hey, I get people asking me this question all the time. Here's what my answer is. Because that'll help people understand that you're actually the expert at what it is, and they're going to build trust with you. So those are some of the pieces of content that you can put out there. Using some hashtags is always important, something to keep in mind. But ultimately, your posts are giving them a taste of what you're like in person without them having to see you. And the more you do that, the more you do that well, the better the relationship's going to be cultivated online.
So I helped somebody with their first post the other day, and I just kind of, it was more not physically, but it was more like encouraging and like, yeah, no, it's great, like do it. And so now let's say you have that post up. There's some tips to post maintenance. What do you do with the comments, Shaily?
The things there. Just to give you a little bit of a hack here is that you get comments, you want to make sure that you're responding to every single person, using it as a conversation with them, which is always a good thing because people tend to read those comments. So always appreciate on those folks. The second thing I do, which is really huge for referral-based businesses, I'm sure a lot of your listeners, they get referred business all the time, and really social media is just internet of that. It's all related. So what I do is I always look to see who likes and comments. So if I see that there's a business contact that I haven't seen in a while, I've talked to in a while on there that liked my post, I always send them a thank you message. I always say, hey, thank you so-and-so for checking out my post. Because first of all, appreciate them is that they took the time to tell the world, hey, I like this thing, and that's really nice.
Wait, you send them a physical message? Wow.
Like a message on LinkedIn, yeah. Oh,
yeah, that's what I mean. I mean like that. Like, yeah, you'll like, wow, you just blew my mind. That's amazing. I never thought of that. That makes a lot of sense. Because when you say appreciate on them, I thought like, okay, you just hit the little like thing so they know you saw it. But no, you can send them a message and say thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, mind blown right now. You just dropped it.
Right?
Go ahead, continue, please.
I think you know what the possibilities are of that, because now, like, if I say hello and thank you to someone, maybe they have questions for me. This actually happened last year. I posted on LinkedIn. I said hi to a contact that I hadn't seen in a while, and she was like, Shaily, I have this network that I want to introduce you to. Like, I joined the community, whatever, the next day, and then 2 days later I had, like, a new client, like, this product at Whole Foods. I was like, this is great, because I engaged with her and started a conversation with her, that if anybody ever had a question for me, I've now left a very open-ended, easy way for them to respond and ask me whatever it is they want to ask me. It's a great way for them also to stay top of mind. It's another touch point where they can say, oh, yeah, Shaily, I forgot about her. Oh, yeah, Shaily's cool. It makes them think about me one more time. And as you know, the more touch points you have with a potential client or a contact, the better. So that's something I always do is I use it as an excuse to bump into people online. I actually just described it as like, you know that feeling when you bump into someone on the street that you haven't seen in a while and you're like, oh, how are you? Everything good? Like LinkedIn is like your way to do that at scale, is that you can bump into your network without having seen them or called them or whatever it is. So that's how I use the post, is that using it as an excuse to have conversations with people that I want to talk to.
That's awesome, and it makes so much sense, and it's not salesy, and it's really building your community around it, and it's what it's all for, and that's what people want. They don't want you sending them a random message to sale. They want to say thank you. Oh wow, this person actually. I mean, think about it. What is the percentage of people that say thank you to somebody on LinkedIn for engaging with one of their posts? I'm gonna go with. I'm pretty expert level LinkedIn, and I've never done that. So that being said, you schooled me on that one, and I knew you'd school me on something because you gotta guide me through this mountainous terrain of social media as my Sherpa. So I'm not mad at that at all. So Shaily, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information or to connect with you and learn more about your social media, Sherpa.com, what's the best way for them to do it?
So, yeah, just like you said, yoursocialmediasherpa.com is a great way to connect with me. You want to learn more, I have packages listed on there for all different kinds of people, whether you're like a law firm that needs to train its marketing staff on how to do LinkedIn, to like a solo business owner that wants that accountability and support and that information to really get their social media going. All of that is listed on my coaching page. Anybody who wants to do social media workshops, whether it be locally or virtually, I have all those details on there. But if you're like me, you're working hard on your LinkedIn and your LinkedIn profile, I also include on yoursocialmediasherpa.com a way to sign up to get all my favorite LinkedIn profiles so that you can get ideas on how to make your profile stand out and really be specific and let people know who you really are and what you solve. So I put lots of tips in there. So yoursocialmediasherpa.com, you can get my free LinkedIn tips to help you up your profile. And if you feel like it, you can also add me on LinkedIn at Shaily Hakimian. So that's where you can find me online.
Man, I love it. So always a pleasure talking to you, and glad to connect with the social media Sherpa herself. Awesome time as usual. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on our new YouTube channel, Money Matters Top Tips, be sure to give that a subscribe and leave us some comments in the comment section. I mean, we talked a lot about social media, posting, fear, anxieties of social media, and getting over those. And if you have some tips and some other things, engage with us on the YouTube channel. Definitely want to hear your comments on the video, and we'll be sure to reply there. And Shaily, thanks again for coming on. It's been awesome.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. You're welcome. And I can't wait to see what you do with all these LinkedIn tips, Adam. You're going to go even more next level. So keep up the good.